So our next presenter, let me introduce to you, our next presenter is Cristy Benitez. She is a Diamond IPC with the company, and her and her husband Daniel have become very close to my heart. They've been with me since the very beginning, since the inception of doTERRA, and have worked very, very hard. And there was many days. How many of you ever had a day that you wanted to quit? If you haven't had them yet, you will. Okay, you will. I would be willing to guess that Cristy's probably had a few of those. In fact, I know it, because her and her husband have sat in my office in tears. Haven't you, Cristy?
Yes.
She doesn't want to admit to it. Yes.
Yes.
And if anyone in this company had a reason to quit, they did. And people were telling them to. They didn't. Now they have a very healthy income as a doTERRA Diamond. She's going to talk about some topics that are very dear to her. So please welcome Cristy Benitez.
How do I put it on? Good. I'm going to be like this the whole time, feeling like I have to talk like that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I guess I'll just speak up. I don't have a nice little... And I'll come to this side. Well, you know, it's funny because Justin's right. I mean, if there's anybody that should have quit doTERRA, it was me and my husband. Things just weren't always easy. But I think that leadership is one of the biggest things that I learned on my journey. What is your definition of a leader? What is a leader? How do you define a leader? Inspiring? Has all the answers? Woo, that's something to live up to. Yes, they're available. They believe in what?
They believe in themselves.
Bingo. A motivator. They believe in themselves. A motivator. That's right. Well, someone that you want to follow. Oh. Should I just hold it? Is that okay? Okay, you know, I'll just hold it in my hand. I think that'll be better. I'm glad that, because I want you guys to be able to hear. Except I talk with my hands. That's okay. Make it a bow. Okay, well, it's right. You know, if you don't have a vision of where you want to go, if you don't know where you're going, how do you expect people to follow you? Do you honestly think they're going to? No. Right? Do you guys recognize these people? I'm sure you do. Mother Teresa and Martin Luther King, are they considered leaders? Absolutely. Do they have the same personalities? No. Same background? They're definitely not the same gender, right? Okay. Being a leader has nothing to do with your personality. It doesn't have anything to do with whether you're male or female or where you come from. All of us can be a leader. You have to get rid of the baggage. That's what I call it. All the little things, all the I can't do this because. How many of you guys think that? How many times have you heard from someone on your team or even yourself, oh gosh, you know, I just don't know that I can't build a doTERRA business. I just can't. I don't know how to talk to people. Okay, no more can'ts, because as the leader, it's the I can, right? Okay, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. There are some things that people as leaders have to have that they do have in common. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. Are you guys passionate about doTERRA? Do you love the product? Do you love the opportunity? Yes, you do, right? That's why you're here. You want to learn how to grow a business and how to share. Do you think that Mother Teresa had a purpose? Did she feel that she had a purpose? Was she passionate and purposeful in the things that she did every day to help other people? Now, do you think that she got up in the morning and said, oh, great, I gotta go do more service today? No, because she loved to do it. If you are getting up every single morning and you're thinking, oh, great, I've got to go build a doTERRA business. Okay, then you seriously need an attitude adjustment, okay? Let's regroup, okay? You know, when Justin was talking about this topic, and I said, yes, you know, leadership, that's something that I can talk about because it's something that I've learned. But the very first person that came to my mind that I wanted to talk about and ask questions to was someone that I really respect and admire, and that was my father. Because my dad has worked hard every single day of his life, as far as I know. Well, I say of his life, I mean, obviously when he was little he couldn't, but from the time he could go out into the field and pick cotton, my dad was working. Okay, he grew up in the time where if you have a piece of land and you can work the land, we're from Alabama, by the way. Some people can catch the accent, some people don't. But, you know, property was everything, and he knows what it is to work hard. He graduated from high school. He worked himself through college. He graduated in mechanical engineering, and they didn't even have calculators. Slide rules, I mean, come on. I'm like, what? And that's how he did all of his math in college. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And he would come home during the summers and he would work various jobs and he would pay for his way through school, okay? But in high school, you know what? He was also a leader in high school. We have one of those who's who, you know, in the school that he was in. It was, you know, who has the best smile, most popular, best looking, most athletic, things like that. My dad always won the best looking, okay? I mean, he was a handsome guy. I mean, I look at his high school pictures and I'm like, whoa, really? Wow, Dad. You know, he was a good looking guy. And he was also valedictorian of his class. So not only did he have the looks, he had the brains, okay? And he was the quarterback, right? I mean, he was the quarterback, full package, but you want to know what really made him stand out? He could whip the tar out of anybody on the football team. And he didn't even have to go into the weight room. He's naturally athletic, naturally built, but he was a natural leader because there was a guy in the high school that was a typical nerd, glasses, you know, geek, all this kind of stuff. And nobody dared pick on him because my dad would whip the tar out of him. That's character. And people followed him because of who he was. And in the business that he has right now, you know, he's the manager because he has this great degree and he has worked hard for where he is. And they have something called weekend duty, okay? And weekend duty just is that. You have to go in on the weekends. And there's a rotation that they have. And everybody's involved in the rotation. Now, my dad is far enough in management. Do you really think he has to be part of the rotation? No, he doesn't. And my mom gets so frustrated. You don't have to go in there in rotation. I want you home. But my dad always includes himself on the weekend rotation because he's setting the example. You can't ask people to do something that you're not willing to do yourself, right? So he's always part of the weekend rotation, and if somebody calls in sick, he doesn't go and call somebody else to go and take their place. He goes in for them. My dad is a phenomenal leader, and there's a difference between being a leader and being a boss. Now, he is the boss and the manager of those people, but do you think that they look at him as a boss or a leader? He's a leader, right? Because if you have just a boss, I mean, the boss tells you what to do, and you do what they say because they're the boss, right? Okay, well, if I don't do what he says, I'm going to be fired. You know. And when I asked him, Dad, you're such a great leader. What is it? Because, you know, I went onto the internet, and as I was trying to figure out what exactly I was going to stand up here and say for 45 minutes, Justin, because I told him, I said, you know, I could stand up there in a 10 minutes flat, tell them everything that they need to know about leadership, but, you know, I have to draw this out to 45 minutes. So I thought, okay, well, what exactly am I going to say? And so I talked to my dad about some of the things that I had read, the definition of leadership, you know, your ability to get people to move in the same direction for a common goal. You know, that's a pretty good definition, and it kind of goes through workshops. There's workshops that you can go through and steps of skill building to better leadership, time management, goal setting, like Justin talked about, and we're going to go into that a little bit more. But, you know, there's different aspects, right, of especially in corporate America, quote unquote, that you can do to get your team moving in the right direction and to increase productivity, right? But one of the biggest things, and I asked him, I said, what is it? He said, well, it's all those things that you just talked about, but really, it's about just caring about the people. It's caring about the people, realizing what their needs are. Do you guys think that this is a business where we need to care about people? Absolutely. That's what this business is all about. Okay. First key to leadership, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit. You have to believe. And you know what? We can sit here all day and we can talk about how great the product is. We can talk about how great doTERRA is, and we can believe in the product and we can believe in doTERRA. But until you believe in you, it's not going to work. It has to be a belief of I can do this. Behind me is infinite power, before me is endless possibility, around me is boundless opportunity. Why should I fear? I'm afraid to talk to people. I'm not a salesman. How many of you guys have ever been afraid to do something? And what's the best way to get rid of the fear? You do it. Right? Get over the fear. Get over your baggage. I call it baggage because you know what? It's your own stuff. You know, I mean, it really is. I've been learning a lot about the whole law of attraction thing, and I don't necessarily mean, you know, getting lots of money and this type of stuff. I'm talking about law of attraction when it comes to your attitude, who you are, what you're projecting, what are you giving? What are you giving out to other people? And in my marriage, let me just tell you, 14 years, married to the best man in the world. He's from Ecuador, and I'm from Alabama. We speak two different languages, literally, okay? He didn't know English. I didn't know a whole lot of Spanish. I didn't know any Spanish. But now we're both fluent in both languages, right? But I used to feel like his mother never thought that I was good enough for her son. And now, did she ever tell me that? No. That's just what I felt. And there have been times in my marriage when I have thought, gosh, I am just never going to be good enough for him. I'm just never going to live up to what he expects. Now, did he tell me that? No. I told myself that. In my relationships with in my relationship with my mother. How many of you have ever felt, I will never live up to my mother's expectations? Right? I'm never good enough. Okay, can I just tell you right now, you have to own that and quit being the victim. Okay? Because it's not them that's making you feel that way. It's you. Now talk about a big pill to swallow. That was huge for me. That was a huge pill for me to swallow. You mean I'm the problem? What? Gosh. Baggage, people. Get rid of it. If somebody does something that upsets you or makes you mad, chances are it's you. Because you have to stop and think, now, why did that upset me? So does this take honesty to get rid of baggage? Yes. Why? What is your why? Why are you doing this as a business? Why do you want to build a doTERRA business? Anybody have anything they want to share? Why? You want to help people get well? That's perfect. That's right. Be able to support your family. Yeah. Medical bills. Awesome. This is a great company to do it. Because I tell you what, talk about building character. This type of business will make you take a real good look at yourself, and it'll help you build character. You have to know your why. And there are going to be days when you're going to lay in bed and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Because you're going to forget, because things are going to get tough. You're not going to be, maybe something's not working like it should. You have problems here and you have problems there. But let me ask you, if you have issues, if you're having problems, do you go and tell your people about it? No. You don't ever tell your people about it. You tell your upline. Okay? That is one thing Justin always talks about, right? Justin's always talking about it. And see, this is where you guys that, have a couple of uplines up, you have a few people to go to. That's great because that means you get to vent more. Okay? You can really get it out of your system. Me, I've got Justin. And my venting lasts 30 seconds. Then I'm like, okay, fine, I'm done. That's it. I won't do it anymore. But I guess what I wanted to tell you is that you have to remember your why, because on the days when things do get tough, this is what you're going to have to rely on. We're not perfect. We're all going to, we say, okay, you be positive, think positive, and all this kind of stuff, and it's true. You have to do those things. But you're going to have your bad days. Just don't share it with everybody. Okay? Share it with your upline. Get over it and move on. Because honestly, is that problem really a big enough problem that you're going to quit? Are you going to stop trying to build a business? And the reason that I know this is because I've lived it. You heard Justin? He came up here and told you guys as an introduction to who I am, she's the one that should have quit doTERRA. Okay, so I know a little bit about this, all right? Okay. As a leader, you have to have the vision. You have to be kind. You have to love people. You can have different personalities. You don't have to be up and bubbly all the time, because not everybody's like that. You can be who you are, and that's what we want you to be. Be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. so that you can sit down and talk to people in a way that's good for you, right? Talk to people in a way that works for you. Don't try to talk like I do or talk like Justin or Peggy or any of these other people. Be yourself, okay? But to be the leader, you do have to set your goals. Now, how many times have you gone to some type of meeting and they've said, you've got to write your goals down? I mean, how many times do you hear that, right? You've got to write your goals down. Because just like this other slide said, inch by inch, life's a cinch, yard by yard, life is hard. Baby steps. You got to put it into baby steps so that you can wrap your head around it and you can keep the goal. You can keep moving forward and you can keep your team moving forward because they want someone to lead them. You have to be that person. You have to keep them moving forward, okay? All right, going back to the setting goals. I know we just talked about this, and it's like, okay, yes, you got to write it down. But can I just tell you from personal experience, I heard this for my first year and a half in doTERRA, and I never did it. Do you know that as soon as I started writing it down, I mean, this was like a transformation for me, okay? First, finally, in one moment, and I kid you not, it was a moment, I finally believed that I could. As soon as I believed that I could, and then I wrote down my goals, guess what happened? They happened. I mean, imagine that. You actually believe you can accomplish something, you set the goal to do it, and then it happens. Ta-da! I mean, write the goals down, people. Set the goal, have the vision, remember where you're going, be positive. If you're having a bad day, go talk to your upline and then get over it and move on. You can set all the goals you want, but unless you put it into action, unless you are in movement, guess what? It's not going to happen. You have to go get it. And I love this. Can you guys read it? Probably not. It says, jump into the middle of things, get your hands dirty, fall flat on your face, and then reach for the stars. That's what this is. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to jump right in, you're going to get all dirty, and boy, did I hit flat on my face. But then I jumped up and, man, I haven't even reached my final star yet. But I'm getting there. I've reached one of them. Okay? Perseverance is key, people. Greg Cook said one time, and I know I keep quoting him, but I cannot help it. This resonated with me 2 years ago, and it still resonates with me now. He said, to build a successful doTERRA business, you have to have two things: faith and perseverance. Now, when he says faith, what do you think that's talking about? Faith in what? It's faith in yourself. And I don't know what personal journey each of you are going to be going on in order to reach that point in your life. And there are some of you in here, probably like Peggy Smith, who's thinking, not believing in yourself? What, are you kidding? Because this lady's never had a problem believing in herself a day of her life, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? But you would never know it now. Right? You would never know it now. And it doesn't matter how young or how old you are. My mother is over 60, and her and I are still talking about these things. Faith in yourself and perseverance. You got to go through. Keep working. Keep going. Because if you don't persevere, are your people going to? No. Okay, second key. Okay, what was the first key? Do you guys remember? Believe. Attitude. Plain and simple. This slide doesn't need anything else on it. Attitude. Right? How much time do I have? It's 10:22. What time am I supposed to stop talking? Okay, so see, we've got 8 minutes. This is good. Have you guys ever heard that attitude determines your altitude? Change your attitude, change your life. I'm not kidding. Change your attitude about yourself, about your family, about your outlook. Be positive, and it will literally change your life. How many people have had the experience, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, and you just tell yourself, oh, I am so tired. What happens? You just get more tired. Oh, gosh. And then what if you have, man, today's a good day. I am so full of energy. Woo! I could go run, right? Today is a good day. It's going to be a good day. My little girl will come into my house. This is just the worst day. I'm like, what's the matter, Abigail? I have 5 kids. I'm like, Abigail, what's wrong? She just turned 5-year-old. Alex and Christian are being mean to me. I'm like, well, what did they do? They said that I was, whatever, right? Fill in the blank. I mean, you guys have kids, I'm sure you know. And I'm like, Abigail, they didn't make you sad. You're choosing to be sad. And she kind of looks at me. She's 5, right? I'm like, look, if they say something like that, you don't pay any attention to them because you know that that's not true. You know it's not true. Now you choose to have a good day. It's a choice. We choose whether we're going to be happy. We choose whether we're going to be sad. And it doesn't matter what people say or do to us. We choose how we're going to respond to that. Attitude is a choice. And it will change your life. Changing your attitude will change your life, and it will change your business. There was a time, and let me just share this with you real quick. There was a time in our business we were at the point of gold. We were at gold. I swear, I think we were at gold forever. And I'm like, are we ever going to get platinum? I mean, and we just didn't really have a whole lot of, we just had a whole lot of nothing going on, right? And we were just on this emotional roller coaster. Okay, should Daniel get a job? You know, because we've been doing this full time. For those of you that don't know my story, see, we were with the other essential oil company, right? Okay, but corporate side. My husband worked corporate for 8 years, so we were on the other side, okay? He had a salary pay, we had a 401k, which doesn't mean a whole lot anymore, but at the time it was okay. You know, we had benefits, but we just felt like we needed to leave the company. Talk about a leap of faith. It's like, okay, so that's what we should do, huh? Then what? Well, we didn't know, but we knew we needed to leave a sinking ship, right? No, really, and I didn't mean that to be rude. People are laughing, but so we did. We quit the other company, right? Quit our job, and Justin calls, Daniel, you got to come take a look at this. So we go into the Orem office, and we meet with the executive team, and we talk and everything. And so anyway, we decided to do doTERRA. But that's why there was no other job. It was just doTERRA. So when we didn't make enough money, and we didn't have enough money coming in to pay our house payment and this type of stuff yet, because our business wasn't big enough yet, it was like, oh, great. Now maybe Daniel needs to get a job. So now you guys understand why I said that. Okay. Anyway, we were just on the emotional roller coaster that most all of you are going to be on. Oh, this was a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have done this, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I kept coming back, and I kept telling him, you know what? We knew this was right. We knew this is where we were supposed to be. This is what we were supposed to do, and this is what we're going to do. And we made a conscious decision. And it was just, like I said, things happen in a day. They happen in a moment in time. And we said, you know what? Enough of the emotional roller coaster. We're going to have a positive attitude no matter what. And guess what happened? As soon as we made that conscious decision, we got out of our rut, our business started growing again, and it was all because of our change of attitude and the consistency of a positive attitude. That does not mean that I never again had a bad day, but it was quite a few months later before I did, because I knew that we were on the right track. I knew this is what I was supposed to do. This is where we're supposed to be. It's a choice. Okay, everybody, I'm sure you can see that one, right? The words I am are potent words. Be careful what you hitch them to. The thing you're claiming has a way of reaching back and claiming you. Truer words have never been spoken. I remember when I only had my first 3 boys, RSV was a big thing. It was during the winter months, and RSV was going around, and I had a huge fear. Oh no, what if my boys get RSV? But I mean, I thought about it over and over again, and I just was like, oh no, fear, fear, fear. Well, guess what? All 3 of them got RSV at the same time. Around-the-clock treatment for my boys. Okay? That was negative. That was a negative thought. That was a negative thought process that I brought to myself. And guess what? It totally happened, because not only did I think it, I had the emotion to back it up. I was emotionally distraught. Now, if that will work for something negative, do you think it would work for something positive? Absolutely. February of this year, we are diamond in doTERRA. We are diamond. Sat in your office, didn't I, Justin? Sat in your office, and I said, we are diamond in doTERRA.
Now tell them when you said you were that.
August, right? August. I'm Blue Diamond in August. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Right? So you have to set the goals for the affirmative, but you can't just think it. You have to be it. Have the emotion behind it. Draw it to you. Bring it to you, because whether you want to realize it or not, who we are and the energy that we are putting out is all around us all the time. Whether it's positive, negative, happy, sad. Because you can be around people and you kind of afterwards are like, gosh, were they in a bad mood? You know, and they didn't even say anything to you. You're just around them. Right? I mean, we all can kind of do that. And then we can be around somebody else. Oh, man, today's such a great day. Did you see that person? They're so happy. Right? I mean, it makes a difference. And I know this goes back to the law of attraction, but it's a universal law, and it's real. Bring to you the good things in life. That's why we're here. We're supposed to have joy in this life. We're supposed to have joy. Okay, it's 10:31. So I had a short little clip, but I don't know that I have it anymore. So thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good day.